welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little Q&A with myself, and I've got Jake Sanson here, who some of you may know commentated on a lot of my karting races and is a very big motorsport commentator.
Aaron Walker, Aaron Walker, Aaron Walker, Aaron Walker, Aaron Walker. Remember where you were when Aaron Walker came to town in Senior X30.
So karting, it started obviously as it always does, as a hobby. How did it all begin?
Yeah, I started April 2016, and then we were doing it just obviously for fun, Dad mechanicking me, running me. And then we joined Kato at the end of 2016, just to progress to, tracks like PFI, club meetings there in Wilton Mill. And the end of 2016 we decided that we'll go do Super 1. We won't be very good because obviously I hadn't even been doing karting for a year then. But
straight in at Super 1?
Yeah, we thought we may as well just give it a go. You're only going to learn, we thought we're only going to learn faster if we just compete with the best. 2023, or end of 2022 even, sorry, we were just sat at the dinner table and got talking about it and just decided, oh well, it, we'll go do it.
I love the attitude though, because it's just, you've always been very much no nonsense, just go in and get it done. You've never really been fazed about the overwhelming challenge of it. You've never really thought, well, this is too big for me. You've just gone, sod it, we may as well just give it a go.
Yeah, and this is why the GT stuff kind of reminds me of when we've started, because I'm very much been thrown into the deep end, like how I started throwing ourselves into Super 1. So it sort of gives me a good memory of like when I first started, because we're competing against the best of GT race and these guys are getting paid loads to race. So it like reminds me of the days in cadet when I went straight in and you're in the deep end and it's hard, but you get through it.
Yeah, because essentially in sports car terms, what you've kind of done is go straight from senior karting to GT3. It's kind of equivalent from Verstappen going straight out of karting into Formula 3 and then a year later he was in F1. It's very similar, but in the sports car world.
Yeah, there's always a lot of people that say that to me. Why did you never do these lower classes, or you do GT4 or something and you learn your trade and go up? And for us it was obviously, money in racing is very expensive, so if you're spending a lot of money doing lower things, why not spend the same amount of money and go do the bigger things and just throw yourself in?
Just go and do it on the big roulette
just
table.
do it, yeah.
It's very admirable. When I saw you in the paddock last year in GT3, I thought, only Aaron Walker would have the conviction to just kind of go, sod it, let's just go and do it. And it was really rewarding that you actually pulled out the other side. To gauge it for people who are watching, how fast does your current GT3 car go, top speed, roughly?
We will hit about here at Yas Marine on the back straight, we're about 160 mile an hour.
160 mile an hour. And how fast were your karts at top level?
So they would reach top 70, 75 at the fastest kart track.
Yeah, but you're that far off the ground and you're not strapped in or anything.
Well, yeah.
It's insane when you think about it like that.
Yeah, people always say about the speed, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm stupid, but I think that, karting doesn't feel much slower to this stuff.
Yeah.
People always say, because I drive a Fiesta road car now, because I've just turned 18 soon, so I've had my road licence about half a year now. And then they always say, oh, isn't it terrible, go back and get in your Fiesta, it's got 100 horsepower and you're lucky if the thing starts, but it doesn't, this doesn't feel as far, you're on a big track, everyone else is doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, you put a GT3 car on the road and
it's a very different
mental,
skill.
Yeah.
So tell me about those races, those sort of times. You had some amazing battles with some incredible people, especially when you got to Europe. I think a lot of people weren't really expecting you to shoot up and go into the top 5. There must have been some great days on track, particularly in Europe.
So even for myself, 2020, before we started I didn't really know what to expect, because for context 2020 was the year I won the European Championship and the Miami World Championship. People call it the World, but it's the I Games. I didn't really know what to expect coming into that weekend, and then we did Valencia, the Winter Cup, and we had a very good weekend and should have won the final, but an unfortunate incident meant we didn't. And after that race it was kind of, all right, I want to win everything now. Castelletto, Alex, who's worked with me for 5 years, will tell you it's his most stressful weekend ever.
Oh, really?
Because we were about a second and a half off the whole weekend. Whatever, we come to qualifying still 6/10 off, and I was like, we all were just dejected, and we were like, oh, this is just what we've got for this weekend. And then for some reason I had a little crash in the first heat, and it was just like a switch like that happened. All of a sudden I was the fastest person on the track.
I remember it well.
Walker gets a good start, so does Harrison. But out in front, it is now Walker in front of Pluch and Chaos. The way things currently look, it's going to be Aaron Walker, who not only would take the lead in the standings, but would do so by 15 points. Aaron Walker controls the pace up front. Bart Pluch in a valiant second place, and Oliver Greenall in third. The Dutchman is going to give it a go for Aaron Walker. He knows, Walker, that the Dutchman's going to be strong, so he's got to take the defensive line. This is going to be another sensational last lap sizzler between the two leaders. Walker defensive, Pluch on the offensive. Greenall needs to be patient here in third place. He might have a chance of something here. Walker keeping an eye on Pluch. They go through the bottom bend into the hairpin. Walker protects. Pluch is going to try and launch this up the inside. Walker protects there. Pluch is going for it! What a move from Bart Pluch! He gets there! What an overtake from the Dutchman! Now he's the one who's going to defend from Walker. Walker's going to try and get the switchback move. He's ready for it. Pluch is there on the inside line, but Walker's going to take it. Greenall on the inside too. Pluch moves to cover, and it's Greenall in third, Pluch second, but Walker's done it. Aaron Walker just hangs on in the final tour.
And then, yeah, I finally won the championship in Marienburg after a good race with Santi Valvi. The kid was called a Spanish kid racing with Kart Republic. I remember that weekend because there was a lot of games going on in the practice, especially and in the heats, you know, going a little bit more out in the heats than you would normally, just trying to prove a point. And then, yeah, very stressful before the final because the situation was that if he finished in the top two, he would win. So I had to beat him, or I had to finish second or first to win it. And then just as we were going onto the grid, everyone was on wets and the track was bone dry, and we couldn't change the tyres. So, and then Alex said, we put the pressure so low, you're going to be terrible at the start, so just hold on, and at the end it will be good. And lucky enough, the pressures weren't too low, and I pulled out about a 6-second lead in about 4 laps.
A tough one as Walker bounces on the inside of Alve. That could be the moment that wins him the title. So Walker into second place. Whoever beats the other is going to win the title wherever they finish. I think we've got to move for the lead. And it's a big battle. Oh, Ortic has lost ground. Walker's got the lead. Walker's got through. Walker is in the lead, and he's got plenty of space between himself and Santi Valve. But he is checking out. He's a full 6 seconds ahead of Ruben Volt. Aaron Walker is already halfway round sector 2. He's that far ahead of Ruben Volt. He's extended the gap to nearly 7 seconds. So Aaron Walker dancing away. 7.4 clear of Ruben Volt. Greenall in third. And the way things currently stack up, Walker has the race and the title pretty much in his pocket. Aaron Walker leads the race by, get this, 8.7 seconds. But Aaron Walker comes down the final straight, and Aaron Walker wins at Marienburg, and he is the 2020 Miami Euro Series Junior X30 winner.
It was a great race and a good weekend, and yeah, probably the best championship run I've ever had.
This is one of the things I like about you, is that when I talk to a lot of drivers who have moved out of karting and into cars, they talk about karting with a fondness, and they kind of say, yeah, there were some really good times, but it's your level of recall. You know, you really hold this stuff really passionately to your heart. You really, really enjoyed that time, and it's clear that it's made you the racing driver that you are. You still have a real beating heart for it.
Yeah, the memories from those days were just incredible, to be honest, and yeah, that's what makes you love racing, isn't it? The karting, the good old days. Even you listen to the F1 drivers now, they still tell you the karting days they're the funnest days, where you're just starting out and you don't realise the scale of it all, really. You're just not focused, you just go to the weekend and it's a bit of fun, and if you come away with good results, then you know, good, or if you don't, then you still had a fun weekend away. So
I actually want to embarrass you a tiny bit here
Oh,
because
I know what's coming here.
I think you may know what's coming here.
Yeah.
I actually, a long time ago, me and Aaron, we sat down, this would have been at PFI, I think, and we did a short vid, which is still up, it's still available. I want to see if you remember this conversation. I wonder how, this might be the first time you've seen this in about 6-7 years.
Oh, I see
maybe.
this all the time.
Do you really?
All
Do you
the
genuinely
time.
go
yeah,
back at
people
this?
still. I went to school one day and so one of my mates had decided they were going to search up Aaron Walker on YouTube.
Really?
And this was the video they come across. So I turned up to school one day and the thing that I still get to this day is, what's your favourite chocolate bar? That question.
Well, let's find out.
I mean,
Let's
yeah,
see
we
if it's
can
still
play it,
true.
but-
Let's see if it's still true. Those cool carts there.
Yeah.
Aaron Walker,
Hello.
I have some
God.
questions for you. Name your favourite
Loving the
chocolate
hair.
bar.
Yeah.
Well,
Why?
she's great, aren't they?
I hear that one all the time nowadays.
Name something you'd never ever eat.
Salad. Don't eat salad.
Have
Still
you
one.
ever
Name the
eaten a
Olympic
salad?
event you'd want the gold medal for.
The lettuce wedges from Miller and Carr. That's about it.
So you
That's
haven't
about
changed
all I
at
eat.
all.
No,
You haven't changed at all. I love it. Absolutely brilliant.
Name something you're genuinely proud of.
How far I've come in karting.
Yeah, because by this point I had only really known you a few weeks, and you'd only been driving a year at that point.
Name your
Yeah,
favourite subject.
yeah. So this was going into my second year of racing this year.
Name the worst meal you've ever eaten.
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know why I answer a vegetarian burger to this question. Never know why, because I've never eaten one in my life. I don't know why. I just didn't know what to say. So
Name the video game you'd waste a week of your life on.
Fortnite.
Do you still waste weeks of your life
Name
on
your favourite
Fortnite?
Marvel
No,
superhero.
No, not anymore.
just fell off.
It's iRacing now.
Name a
isn't it?
car
Yeah.
you've
There you
really
go.
seen dead in.
Like one of those golf buggies.
I was in one about 2 days ago.
I was just going to say, it's like if you're a racing driver and you don't want to be seen dead in a golf buggy, you ain't got no chance, have you?
Yeah, no, I'd love to get in a golf buggy now.
Yeah,
Fresh
I
air
love
around.
them. I love them. They're
Love
amazing.
racing in the future. Okay. Name the last song that was stuck in your head.
Barbie go.
Barbie girl.
Is this still a regular occurrence?
I don't know. That was just when you said
Name
it.
your death row
It's just the first thing that came in.
last meal.
Chicken korma.
Name the one sport you wish you were good at.
Rugby.
So tell me, chicken korma, is that still your last?
No, I've got spicier now.
You got spicy
Got
now? Oh,
spicier.
okay. So we're in the biryani stage now.
Jalfrezi.
Ooh,
I'd go for.
good choice. Yeah, very good choice. And you still want to be a rugby player?
I wouldn't mind being a rugby player, but I
Good
don't know.
training.
Yeah, I don't know. Rugby, football. I don't know. I wouldn't
You
mind.
can stick to FIFA if you need to.
Yeah.
Name a musical instrument you wish you could play.
Violin.
Name the one motor race you want to win.
Le Mans.
Well, I know that the last question hasn't changed. You still want to win Le Mans. Do you still want to play a violin?
I don't know.
Were you messing with me that day?
No, that's a really random answer to that question.
It is, yeah. I
To be
just
honest,
wondered how much truth it was.
because someone played it to me like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I heard that quick. I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I
Was it
answered
just the
that
first
one.
musical instrument you could think
I
of?
think so. I think so. So karting obviously teaches you a lot, but you know, you come into car racing and there's loads of things you got to adapt to. You got to adapt to downforce, suspension, to weight transfer, and all these different things, and how the car changes during the race with tyre age and fuel loads. Because obviously a fuel load in this is 100 kilos, so it dramatically affects it, which is something you never get in karting. I mean, obviously the tyres get old, but you know, it's a completely different feeling in this. I think karting's very good teaching you the racecraft, but when you come here, I remember saying to Alex and my dad after a few months of doing it, I was like, I feel like a complete novice again. It's just like you're relearning all over again, which is, after you've been doing karting for 6-7 years and you know all the fundamentals of it, and it comes easy to you then, and then jumping into this and you're like, oh, what? Because, I don't know, it was weird for me adapting my head to it, to, like in karting, I would always want to be the fastest, and if I wasn't, why? And I get to this and first got in there and it's like second off, and you're thinking you're happy, and you're like, but I'm a second off, and it's like, you know, you got to think these people they're grown men getting paid, so I've got a long way to go considering I'm not even 18 yet.
Fair enough. And what was that moment when you're there at Monza for the first time? You drive out of the pit lane in your brand spanking new Get Speed Mercedes-AMG GT3 that's got your name on the door. That's a once in a lifetime moment.
Yeah, it is really. It was a cool experience going out for the first time and doing the first run, and then, you know, you're racing these people. Some of these people should have been in F1. They'll argue. So, you know, it's a cool moment when you think of like some of the people on track with you at the same time. It's crazy. Like obviously we've had Valentino Rossi this year.
Yeah.
Like to think you're driving around on the track with Valentino Rossi, and a year ago you're pounding around PFI on a test day. It's mental, but yeah, it's a very cool experience. And sometimes you just got to sit back and, you know, appreciate. Like right now we're at Yas Marina, which 2-3 years ago I would have never even thought was going to happen. So yeah.
Do you sort of pinch yourself? Is it still a bit of a fairy tale, or is it now becoming more real from your perspective? Are you kind of getting used to the lifestyle of being a GT driver?
Well, you get used to it, and then you also have moments where, you know, you sit back and go, like if you're having a bad day or something, it's not going your way, or the race isn't going your way, and you just, like yesterday, race didn't, well, I messed up the race personally in my stint.
Okay.
But then, you know, you've got to appreciate, we're going around Abu Dhabi in a GT3 car and it is crazy and it is cool. So
how did this happen?
Yeah, you try and keep a level head to it.
Well, not many people will be aware of this, but you didn't exactly jump straight from karting to GTs. You did have a bit of a play to get some signatures on your license first. Obviously, not many people are aware that when you jump out of karting to go up to the top levels, if you want to be that kind of competitive driver, you have to get some signatures on your license to sort of build up to that stage. So in comes a very stereotypical kind of race car for Aaron Walker, a Fiesta, a proper Fiesta.
Yeah.
And that must have been a heck of a lot of fun for you. That was like clearly a toy you could play with.
Yeah, that was good fun, you know. We were at, I think I did it at Brands Hatch and Donington was where I got my signatures. And just, yeah, it was quite fun thrashing it around there, and it's something completely different, so it was fun. It was front wheel drive, so it's something, you know, I had to adapt a lot to that as well, getting my head around that, because it's not like a rear wheel drive car where it slides, you take your foot off. Don't quite work like that in a front wheel drive Fiesta. But yeah, it was good fun and I enjoyed that.
Well, it's fun. George Russell did it in a 2CV, you did it in a proper car, you did it in a Fiesta.
Yeah.
What was that like, racing at that level with people who knew the car better than you and you could just throw yourself in there?
Yeah, it was difficult. I think, I don't know, the biggest challenge we had was in Fiestas they brought out a new car for that year, and I was the only one on the new Mark 7, I think it was. They were all on Mark 6s. And we realised that we had a big deficit in torque, so I thought, because we had tested the Mark 6 and then when we raced the Mark 7 because the team bought and they wanted to bring other drivers up the same way as I was brought up in cars. We realised we had a big power deficit, so I found it quite frustrating because I was driving around knowing I've got the pace. I could be at the front, I thought. Maybe I couldn't, but I thought for me I could be at the front and I could challenge for the win in this, but we had a massive deficit in torque, which torque is the bottom power of the engine, for anyone that doesn't know. It's all the bottom end power, and I remember going through turn 2 of paddock, putting your foot down and just going nowhere. So I found it quite frustrating, but yeah, it was enjoyable.
So, 2024, you're back in GTs again this year. It's going to be your full-time gig. You've learned a lot in 2023. What's the objective, what's the target, and how realistic do you think it is?
Yeah, at the moment we've not decided what championship we're going to do. We're either going to do GT World Challenge or GT Open. But yeah, the objective is just to be at the front in whatever we're doing, and for myself to learn a bit more. You know, getting used to it. I've had my year of learning, so this year's now the year I make that final step and try to get to being a top silver driver at least. So yeah, I'd love to win GT Open, or you know, be at the front in the silver class in GT World Challenge. But the tough thing is with GT racing is the lineups can affect it a lot. So you know, you can be very unlucky in the sense if you're driving last and you have a shunt at the start. You know, not the first driver's fault, but that's just the way GT racing goes in endurance racing. But yeah, I hope to be at the front this year.
And of course, the big dream, the big end game, Le Mans, is still very much your path. You're still very much on that radar. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, and especially now Le Mans moved to LM GT3, so GT3 cars.
It's what you're driving.
Yeah, it makes it even more achievable, hopefully. Hopefully in years to come, that's where we're going to be, and that's what the aim is.
I'm really excited. Having watched your journey right from day one to where you are now, I can't wait to see it. And I really hope that when you're there at the South, I'm there at the South. I want to be part of that. And I'm sure everybody watching does as well.
Yeah, it'd be great to have you, imagine the dream is me winning the race and you're the commentator.
That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? That would be kind of cool. We'll work on that. Dude, I'm so glad you asked me to catch up with you. It's been really, really cool.
Thank you, enjoyed it.
Hope you enjoyed it as well, guys.
Cheers, bye.